big heart, big feelings, and sometimes it feels like when you feel a lot and you want to be kind and loving to people, but then people don't really receive that, or you're trying hard and you're always giving your best, but then sometimes it feels exhausting. I feel you. Welcome back to another video. I'm Vanessa. If you're new here, welcome. And I think this is going to be a series because I just recorded another video, and I think this will be the first one, and then the video I just recorded will be the second one. You know, sometimes you don't have enough time to put all that you want to say into one video, but therefore that's what the comment section is for, to ask a question or clarify or whatever. But in this video, I want to make this really short and swift. I just want to say, if you feel sometimes like you're going to a party or to an event or even at work, and you know, have such good intentions and such an open heart, and maybe you're even trying to please people a little bit and, you know, make them feel loved, but then it sometimes feels like you're not receiving back what you're giving. You may be over giving. And, you know, sometimes then we learned, or sometimes it feels to us like, oh, am I not giving enough because they don't see me or acknowledge me or like me or whatever? Am I not giving enough? Trust me, you're giving enough. It's just that maybe you grew up in a way, or you learned somewhere along your life that you get the sense, or you got the sense that you weren't giving enough because the other person was just not receiving or, you know, acknowledging how much you were giving. But that doesn't mean you're not giving enough. It just means like you're trying to give sometimes to the wrong people, or to people that don't mirror back to you how worthy you are. And that again is sort of a spiritual experience. It can be triggering and it can feel devastating sometimes, right? We're giving and giving and giving and feeling exhausted, trying to keep that heart open and be so there, be so present. But then it feels like you're see-through, or people don't really appreciate you. So I know it's normal to ask yourself then, am I giving enough? Am I enough? But you know what? Like in those situations, I've done that in the past. And what I learned is simply, it's not simple actually, but it is once you learned it, that maybe you haven't received, that's at least what I learned, that I haven't received this reassurance or this equal emotional attention or emotional support that I was giving. But I didn't learn in childhood that, you know, like it's like an energetic experience. You're giving and giving and giving because you feel like, oh, maybe then there will be an emotional connection that we create. Maybe if I just give a little more, then they will see me or hear me or meet my needs. In my case, back then, it was my need of emotional connection and having like this depth, emotional depth together. But if there's a person who doesn't know how that feels like or how supportive that is themselves, if they've never learned it, they are not capable of giving that to you if they haven't worked on that themselves. So sometimes we end up keeping our hearts so wide open and giving and giving and giving, and then getting disappointed again and again and again. Just for us to finally learn, whoa, what is my underlying need? Oh, connection, but maybe this is not the person that can give me or can meet me halfway in this connection. Yeah, so this is one side of people who are very sensitive and keep their heart open. And I have my heart open too, but I used to be very naive in that, and feeling like I could just do a little more for somebody to connect, for somebody to love, and for somebody to acknowledge or open their heart, right? And it's not a bad thing to be naive and loving, you know, it's actually a sign of your connection to love, that you have this naivety, and keep that, cultivate that, but also allow boundaries to grow. And notice when enough is enough. Yeah, when you know that you gave enough, and then when you start having self-respect and say, okay, I gave enough. If the person doesn't acknowledge or cannot give that back to me, it's not a reflection of my worth or my level of lovability. I don't know if that's a word actually, or how lovable I am, but it's just a reflection of, you know, them not being so connected to their heart. And that's okay. It's okay. We're living in such a polarized world. And you and your heart, you keeping your heart open, is not the same as you having no boundaries. You can learn to decide how far you go and keep your heart open, because opening your heart and keeping it open, especially for us sensitive people, is going to change the world. And this is not a cheesy sentence, it really is. We're living in a time where people are learning and craving healing. They are buying books, they're looking into spirituality, they're looking into self-help, they're looking into self-development, yoga, all these kind of things. There's a reason for that, because we all crave connection and love. We all do, if we know it or not. If we know it or not. This is what everybody needs. And sometimes there are two ways. Either we try to numb that need, those substantial core needs, with something, with alcohol, drugs, you choose your poison, you know. Or we try to fill it with something else. So like lots of material things, clothing, cars, I don't know, titles, whatever, you know. But this is not going to fill the void. None of the two. Not the numbing and not trying to fill it with material things. The void can only be filled from within, with love, through our connection to self, through our open heart with others, through our connection to the spirit and a higher power. This is what fills the heart. This is what fills the void. This is the wholeness that we're all craving for. And that can only come from looking within, you know. And that's why it's so important that if you already have that open heart, if you're already sensitive, and that also means that you feel the pain as well of the world. And that is hard. And we talk a little more about this in the next video, but when we decide to keep our heart open, we do an incredible service to the world. Because even if you are, this is a really simple example, but happens to me all the time and happened to me in the past all the time. I used to, you know, have a good mood, come out of my house, like have a smile on my face, smile at somebody, and they look away. And I would think, oh my God, maybe I have something in my face, whatever, you know, like, oh, they don't like me, maybe I'm ugly, whatever. But that's when I stopped doing it. Stop being so lighthearted and open and naive, and, you know, because I thought, oh my God, maybe I'm an idiot. But now I know better, and I know that it doesn't matter how somebody else responds. If that's what I'm feeling in the moment, and I just want to spread some love, not like as a strategy, but just because I really feel happy right now and I just want to give a smile to people on the street, I'm going to do it because I'm feeling it. And no matter how the other person responds, this is not your business. It's not about that. Don't let this make you insecure. Don't let this make you doubt, because this would create like this closing, yeah? This would create the closing because it doesn't feel safe to keep your heart open. But that's a big misunderstanding. Because just because the other people in the world, not all, but, you know, other people who don't smile back, who, you know, don't have a nice word for you or whatever, just because they can't embrace it for some reason that has nothing to do with you, doesn't mean they will be touched by you, you know? And maybe later they think like, that person was really happy, or that person was so nice, I wonder what they wanted from me, you know? But it's gonna touch, and just choose to, if this is you, if this is who you are, be it, and don't let anybody, don't get insecure by people's responses and reactions. Look at the people that you admire. Look at the people that you admire and that do incredible things that you're blown away by. They are individuals, they are unique, they do things differently than others, and you admire that, don't you? So admire yourself a little more for your open heart, and don't let yourself get discouraged for having it, because this is what changes the world. And you may feel now, ooh, I'm not going to change the world with my smile. You'd be surprised what a smile can do to somebody who never gets one, who always feels ugly, or who feels not enough, or who feels transparent in the world or not seen. So keep your heart open, because you're doing an incredible, important service to the world, even if you feel it's not true. Have you ever gotten like a smile or compliment from a stranger without them wanting anything from you? That's powerful. That's powerful. Somebody being nice to you without any agenda. That's powerful. I love that. I love when that happens. So yeah, keep your heart open and check out the next video. We go deeper in that, okay? Because yeah, I want to keep these ones short. You cannot, you know, put everything of every topic in one video, so bear with me. And share with me below, in what state is your heart? Where are you at? Are you sensitive? Do you fear sometimes people to see your heart? Because it's your power, and sometimes I know it felt to me in the past like having such an open heart and caring so deeply felt actually disempowering, or it felt like a burden. But you know, now I know that it's a strength, and that we need people like that in the world. Even if we are looked at sometimes like, this person is weird. Okay, so all my love to you. Leave a like, subscribe if that felt good for you. So I see you in the next video. Ciao.